people, and welcome. Apple a day. So good to have you here. Welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fun one. I'm always really excited to be here, but I am really excited to be here today. Apple a day says, I like the taste of coconut, but haven't had them in years because I'm concerned about the saturated fat. Looking forward to Jennifer's chat today. Yes, and we are going to talk about that. Hi, Nan. Nan is in the house. So glad and excited to have everybody here. And if you are new here or if we haven't met yet, I just want to take a minute and let you know that I'm Jennifer Diamond. I'm a certified plant-based nutrition coach, and I live a whole food plant-based lifestyle, and I am deeply passionate about helping people feel better in their bodies and more confident in the kitchen and more connected to real nourishing food. So I just want to say hi, Jill. Jill is here. I want to also say that when I do these lives, the reason why I like to do them so much is so that we can connect. So please feel free to share in the comments. Ask a question if you have one. Go in the chat and we will interact together with you, as it is one of our favorite parts of doing these live shows. So now, of course, if you're watching this and it's a replay, well, you can still feel free to drop a comment or question in the chat, and then we will respond as soon as we can. Isn't that right, everybody that's here live? So today we're going to talk about coconuts, and we will be looking at different coconuts available in my area, talk about the benefits of coconuts, and we're even going to show you how to open them to get to the amazing water and the coconut meat inside. And if there's time, I have a simple smoothie recipe that I wanted to share as well, which means there will probably be a appliance dance party going on. So I just want you to know that opening some of these later with you guys we're going to do this together. So I am not skilled and have not been doing this at all, really. So I thought it would be fun for us all to do it together. And anyways, so just so you know, I actually have been drinking coconut water for many years. I first started drinking coconut water, just the water part, when my hematologist recommended it to help with my low levels of potassium. No one could figure out what was going on. And, long story short, they said, well, drink Gatorade. And I'm like, for me, that's not okay. I said to the doctor, have you read the ingredients label in Gatorade? And so after thinking for a while, she said, well, how about coconut water? And at that time, I had never had coconut water. So Todd and I went out and we bought all these coconut waters that come ready to go. There were flavored ones and different brands to try to figure out what would work at that time. So you might already know a lot about coconuts, or you might be like me, which I just shared, and just learning about the fresh ones and, how to crack these guys open. Either way, we're going to have some fun today. So in fact, I want you to know that coconuts come in different types, stages, and forms, and they are packed with nutrients. They've got a lot of flavor if they're good ones, and they can be used in a lot of sweet and savory dishes. They are sometimes used in skincare, hair care, even household items, and more. So before we get started, I would like to invite you to sign up for my newsletter at thejenniferdiamond.com. And if you haven't subscribed here yet, then please subscribe and like this video if you like it. And if you already are subscribed, I want to take a moment and just thank you, because I really do appreciate it. All right, let's get started. Hey, hello, Tanya. Tanya is here as well. This is fun, you guys. So let's talk about the simple question here. What exactly is a coconut? Right? Despite the name, it's actually not technically a nut. Botanically, it's considered a drupe. Now, don't go looking anywhere online, but I want to ask a question. Does anyone here know what a droop is? Put your answers in the chat, and we're going to talk about that. That was a new word for me. I would like to see if anybody knows what that is. So while we're waiting for your answers in the chat, I'm going to share that coconuts grow on coconut palm trees, and they thrive in tropical climates all over the world. Places you'll find them are like Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands, the Caribbean. Doesn't it sound divine? I love the beaches and all of that. Of course, Central and South America, like places like Brazil and parts of Africa. Okay, now a single palm tree can produce up to, and I didn't make this a question, but I'm just going to tell you, I found it fascinating, 75 coconuts a year. Wow. I mean, and depending on, if they're the newer, younger ones, all the way up to the big ones, they can be gigantic. When I think of 75 per year in one single tree, and if you see them all lined up, that's a lot of coconuts. So, all right, let's take a second. I want to check the chat. What is a droop? Do we have anybody that has had a chance to answer that one? Oh,
Apple believes it is a sleepy fruit.
A sleepy fruit. I like that. A droop.
Okay. Jill has no idea.
Okay.
Tanya, who gets my vote, and Apple says a fruit that drops from the tree.
Ooh, these are all great answers. Even the no idea one. I like it. Apple a Day says, Tanya wins, because that is fun. And Tanya said, I love coconut. Okay, so a droop, let's see if anyone was right, is a type of fleshy fruit with a hard, stony pit or central stone that surrounds a single seed. So smaller scale examples would be our peaches, cherries, apricots, even almonds, dates, pistachios, and coconuts. So there you go. It's interesting to think of it in that term, because I didn't at first. I just never thought of it that way, but that's something new. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at a photo that shows the layers of coconuts just for a minute. I'm just going to put it up here so we can just talk about it. Okay. Now, in case you're not familiar with like all the levels of a coconut, here you can see that the coconut actually has 3 layers, and then there's 5 here because it also has going from the bottom up, it has the coconut water in the center, and then the flesh, which is the part that a lot of people like to call the meat. But if you start with the outer husk, going back to the top of this, where it says outer shell or outer husk or peel, that's called the epicarp. And then the middle layer is the edible layer, and that's called the mesocarp or the husk. And then there's the hard shell stony layer that is enclosed. It encloses the seed. So it's like 2 hard layers, right? And then that one, as you see, is called the endocarp. So we have the epicarp, the mesocarp, and the endocarp, okay? So the outer shell, hard, inside a little bit softer because it's like the husk, and then another hard shell before we finally get to the coconut flesh, and then finally the coconut water. So you could take that off. Okay, there we go. Has anyone actually bought a whole coconut? And if you have, how was it? Were you able to cut into it? Because I have actually bought whole coconuts before, but I've had the store cut them open for me. So let's just take a second and see what's going on in the chat. Oh, good. I'm glad. So yes. So are all stones fruit droops? I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see. Botanically speaking, yes. Todd, go ahead. You read your answer, honey.
Botanically speaking, yes. All stone fruit are classified as droops.
Yes, actually, we did say that already, and I'm already forgetting. So yes, Oh, and it's droop, not droop. Yes, so there you go. I'm glad this is fun for you guys. Okay, so anyways, just wondering if anybody has purchased or cut into it. So you could let me know. Okay, coconuts can be categorized based on different things like their variety or their age. So I want to just talk briefly about the young green coconuts, or they call them drinking coconuts. And I just want to say that I do have a bunch of examples in front of me. These are not all of the different varieties in front of me. I couldn't find them in my area, but we are going to talk about it. I see Marilyn's in the chat. Hello, welcome. Okay, so the young coconut, or the drinking coconuts, are okay. So these are harvested the earliest, and they're usually harvested when the coconuts are about 6 to 8 months old, and then they are the ones that contain the most water. They come, which is really interesting, if you get them like this, like from the tree, they come in different colors. So you can find them in yellow, white, green, orange, you know, and even these two that we have here, they're just slightly different in color, but we're going to talk about these. So yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? That, because I never think of that when I think of it, but you can tell a young one usually because they're heavy for their size. And if you have one that hasn't been taken out, when you slap them, if you were to slap one, they might vibrate a little bit. And that is usually because the inner shell of that coconut, that young coconut, hasn't fully developed yet. And so inside, there's a really sweet, refreshing coconut water, which is what I love. And then there's a thin layer of a soft, jelly-like meat. They sometimes call it spoon meat. And that's because you can easily scoop it out with a spoon. I think you can easily scoop it out with your finger if you don't have a spoon. But the point is that it will come off fairly easy. And it just peels right off inside. So this is what you usually see with the pointed tops like this one, or the ones that are trimmed around the white husks in the store. So this is an example of a fun thing I'm going to share. But just to show you, if this was pushed down, that's why it's kind of pointy. And a lot of times you can find these ready to go like that, not with the umbrella and the straw, and not open, you know, like this more. And I just didn't know if you could see that. Another way is that sometimes they will, you know, cut it open for you like this. So it's not actually open where you can get the water, but it's got this hard shell off. And those are different ways that they sell them in the stores around here. Okay, so then there's the middle-aged coconut. They call it a middle-aged sweet rubber meat coconuts, not Rubbermaid. They are usually a little bit older. So, right, the medium ones, they're like 9 to 10 months old, and they're sweet and slightly larger in size than the young coconut, right? That makes sense. And very heavy for their size. And they will have a hollow or like a thump sound when you knock on them, if you find them in their, you know, a form like this. And that's because the inner shell is starting to harden. So this makes them harder to break into, which is hard for us people over here like me in the desert. I don't know how to do this. I mean, I do, but you know what I'm saying. Anyhow, most people, they use a machete to get into them, you know, if you're serious about it. And the coconut meat is more rubbery in the medium size one and not as soft as in the young coconut. And so the meat in that is still really delicious to eat. But here in the US, we can usually find these already shaved with the husk off that we just talked about. And then it just makes it a little bit easier to cut into them. Now, where we live here in Arizona, we usually find ones that come from Thailand. like this one, and this one, I think this one, all these also come and from Thailand. Now, we are going to go over what I have here in a little bit, but I do want to continue on and just talk about the fully mature brown coconuts. And this is not what I mean when I talk about brown coconuts. They are going to be gigantic and similar to this in look, except much bigger, and the color is going to be brown, okay? And some people, I understand, they call them shaker coconuts. Shake, 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 shake your coconut. Okay, I just had to. Dance break. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do that later. Okay, so I'm feeling good today. The fully mature brown shaker coconuts are the fully ripened ones, and they will have a hairy brown shell on some of them. And those are ready in about 12 to 15 months. That's when, if you want a fully mature one. They are often referred to as the shakers because when you shake them, you can really hear the water sloshing around inside. And so the reason they make this sound is because there's less water and more meat. The water inside is less sweet, and the white meat is thick and firm, and it's really rich in its flavor. And these are the coconuts that are most commonly used for making coconut milk, or if you buy shredded coconut and coconut oil and more products like that. So, but to open one of these, you would need either a husking tool or an axe. Now, I don't have a husking tool to show you. You could certainly look that up, but I will just tell you that it's kind of like this gigantic stick that's in the ground, and they take the coconut and they bang it on this, and they bang it and they move it around, and eventually, you can get into it. And also, like I mentioned, also an axe. And so here in our country, in the US, they come to our store with the husk already removed, and then they look like this brown stringy circle. They have the 3 holes. They have the 3 holes, circles on one end, and it looks like a face to me. I think it looks like a face to a lot of people. I'll show you. I have another one here. Just like regular people, right? The faces come in different shapes and sizes. So that's cute. Let's show these together. You can see the two kind of close up. Okay, so, whoops, let me put this here like this. Okay, so yeah, so you kind of could see the 2 eyes and the mouth, or you could call it a nose, like, because if it's a mouth, it's like, ooh. But inside this coconut is the thickest meat of all. And they're really rich fats, and they can be used to make the coconut milk and the other creamy desserts and dishes like we mentioned. And so there's also I just wanted to kind of throw this in there, dwarf tree versus tall varieties. Now, dwarf coconuts tend to be shorter trees, while the tall ones, well, they're taller. But they cross-pollinate more freely, and then they offer greater genetic diversity, which I thought was interesting. So most commercial coconuts are like a hybrid of the 2 of them. So let's check the chat. Let's see, has anybody bought a coconut, a whole coconut? How was it? And did you guys cut into it? Let's see, do we have anything here? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I like Anonymous is in the house. Hello. Welcome. Dance break is so real. Yes, I love it. Thank you. That's wonderful. And Apple a Day said, I'm feeling very seen by these descriptions. Awesome. Hey, Mona. Mona is here. I just cut up a pineapple like the one on the counter. Oh, yes. Well, don't eat it all. If we have time, we're going to maybe be able to squeeze in a smoothie, and it has pineapple in it. So that would be great. And pineapple is so delicious, especially when you mix it with coconut. So Tanya says, I've never bought a coconut intact. I remember my mom laying newspaper on the ground and bashing it with a hammer. Oh my gosh. Wow, how cool of your mom. Okay, we would all grab the pieces and peel off the brown shell. That's such a great, cool memory. Yeah, so I appreciate you sharing that. Well, let me just ask you another question before we really get on with things is, have you guys ever seen or had pink coconut water before? I'm just wondering. Now, I hear if you have a fresh coconut and it's pink, or what was the other color that we, well, it pink or do you remember this? No, or not clear. They say that's not a good, that's, you know, not good. But I'm talking about like this kind of pink. See this is pink coconut water in a bottle. So we're going to talk about that. Now, I'm also wondering if you've seen it or not. Do you know why, or why do you think, you can tell me if you don't know, you can guess. Why do you think it's pink? So I would like to ask that. And anyone ever have it? No, we've got nope. Okay, well, we'll give a few more minutes in case anybody wants to put their 2 cents in. And so let's take a moment now and talk about the nutrition and health benefits of coconut. Coconut meat. And I know Apple a Day mentioned this when we first got on. Coconut meat is high in saturated fat. Yes, that is true. But it's a plant-based saturated fat, which is different from an animal-based fats or saturated fats. So the primary difference between coconut saturated fats and animal meat saturated fats is in the fatty acid composition. So coconut oil is mostly made up of what they call MCTs, or medium chain triglycerides, particularly lauric acid. Now, we're not going to get crazy and get real deep dive into this, but I do want to tell you that while animal fats contain mostly the long chain fatty acids, so that's the difference. And the difference in the chain length affects how the fats are processed and utilized by the body. So the MCTs, or again, medium chain triglycerides, are absorbed differently than the long chain fatty acids. So they're absorbed directly into the bloodstream and are readily used for energy rather than being stored as fat. Now, I read that some research suggests that the MCTs may offer benefits like improved cognitive function and more favorable lipid profile, which that is interesting. So on the other hand, animal products like beef, butter, and lard also contain a high percentage of saturated fat. The saturated fat in the animal products is largely made up of the long chain fatty acids. And the long chain fatty acids are absorbed, they're transported and metabolized differently than the medium chain triglycerides. And they are more likely to be stored as fat and have been linked to increased LDL cholesterol levels. LDL is how I remember which one, because there's the HDL and the LDL and all the LDL I remember because L is for lousy. Lousy, no good. And the H I remember as healthy. So hopefully if that was something you struggled with, then maybe that will help you. And then there are some studies that suggest that high consumption of saturated fats from the animals can raise the LDL, the lousy cholesterol, and increase the risk of heart disease. So while both coconut oil and animal fats are high in saturated fat, the types of saturated fatty acids differ, leading to the variations in how they're processed and their potential impact on health, right? So it's worth mentioning that because the MCTs go straight to the liver. people with liver conditions, maybe you're going to want to consult your physician before making any drastic changes to your diet. In addition to the natural fats, the coconuts have antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties, especially from the lauric acid. So that is interesting because that may support brain health. It can improve your skin and hair health, may help to improve your HDL. Do you guys remember that one? The healthy or good, that's the cholesterol, and is it's really high in potassium, manganese, copper, and iron. So, of course, you if you are watching fat intake, or you're aiming to lower calorie meals, or even watching your cholesterol with your doctor, moderation, or just consider what works for you. Because coconut can be an amazing addition, but maybe not at every single meal. You don't want to have it all the time. So coconuts are a nutrient-dense, multifunctional powerhouse, really, because they're anywhere from hydration to the electrolytes. And yes, coconut water contains electrolytes. It's a natural source of several essential electrolytes, which is why I mentioned earlier, I was drinking coconut water for a very long time. Or did I mention that yet? I know I've mentioned it before. But anyways, the different electrolytes that it includes are potassium, which was what I was working on when I had it. And yes, I did mention it earlier. And sodium, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus. I'm sure there's more, but these electrolytes play an important role in maintaining fluid balance within us, muscle function, nerve health, and just overall hydration. So coconut water is particularly beneficial for rehydrating after you exercise or illness, or even if you have diarrhea. It's one of those things. So it offers coconuts offer lots of from foods and hydration to self-care products that are great for skin and hair, which we did kind of mention. I'll just share with you, our dog Remy, we've actually been using coconut oil to put on Remy's little nose, per his veterinarian recently told us to do that because he's getting older now. He's 13 years young. And his poor little nose has been very dry lately. And the coconuts really do have a lot to offer. So we've been doing that. And it's been great. Okay, so I want to check the chat. Have you ever seen or had the pink coconut water? And Todd is shaking his head.
Nobody has.
Nobody has. Okay, well, this right here is what I have been, this has been my coconut water of choice for a long time. This is in the refrigerated section. I really have liked it for a long time because it is not heated, and it was as close as I could find to getting it without this. And it's often pink. So I'm going to show you again. It's often pink. And I'm going to read the label on here because they have, where is the label where it says it? They talk about it. Okay. It says, delicious made the harmless way, essential hydration, a quench like no other, replenish electrolytes naturally with organic water, which we just talked about. And then underneath it, it says, it's pink. Don't worry, it says, it's natural. If you leave pure coconut water alone, like we do, varying antioxidant levels can cause a pinking over time. So that doesn't mean open up a fresh coconut and it's pink. That's no good. But if you open it and it's fresh and you leave it alone, it can apparently change. So I thought that was really interesting because when I first started buying these, they weren't always pink, and some of them were. Now they're more often pink a lot. But at any rate, I did want to share that because I thought that was kind of cool. And I will also share, well, let's just talk about coconut water versus coconut milk versus coconut cream, just briefly. And oh, is there something going on in the chat? No? Okay. Okay, coconut water, right? This is the clear, the slightly sweet liquid found naturally inside the young coconuts. And it's hydrating and rich in electrolytes, like we just discussed, especially the potassium, which can be great after a workout or hot weather like it is here now in Arizona. We have temperatures up to, I think, 114 and really cool temperatures like in the 90s. And that's Fahrenheit. Okay, so Apple a Day says, I stopped eating coconut about 15 years ago. I'll revisit the MCT research. Good, I would love it. And if there's anything that you learn that we can also learn, I would love it if you wouldn't mind to come back and share it in the comments. That would be great. So I do want to ask, have you guys, well, we asked, have you ever opened a coconut before? But is this something new that you're excited to try? I mean, would you guys maybe consider that? I'd like to hear about that. So, okay, just going back for a minute about some coconut water turns pink naturally. I did want to just dive into that just a little bit deeper and just talk about the reaction between certain antioxidants, specifically the polyphenols and light or oxygen after the coconut is opened. So, direct light, we talked about that. It kind of reminds me of like an apple, right? When it turns brown, there's a change there. So if you aren't familiar with polyphenols, they're the antioxidants, and that helps neutralize free radicals, which we don't want, and help reduce inflammation in the body, which is a risk factor for many conditions, including heart disease. And when coconut water is exposed to air or light, these antioxidants can react with enzymes, especially polyphenol oxidase, causing the water to oxidize and turn pink. So I see a lot of that when I purchase the coconut water. And, I've been purchasing this pink coconut water for years. And I think it's still fine. But I personally was thinking about trying to drink directly from the coconut, which is one of the reasons that we have this live today, instead of purchasing the way that I have been for so long, for a few different reasons, right? I want to use less plastic. I'm concerned about the microplastics and just the environment and all the things that go into leaving a footprint, just trying to do better, right? For myself, for the environment, for everything. Also, I think that having it as fresh as I can is another reason to give it a try. So, I, again, don't live anywhere near like coconut trees. So for me, this is like as fresh as it gets. And so I just wanted to share that. Now, young coconuts have more polyphenols, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatories because the younger the coconut, the higher the antioxidant content. So the fresh, raw coconut water from the young coconut is more likely to turn pink. Now, the young coconut, if you remember, we talked about earlier, that one has more water in it. So like when I look for what kind of coconut I want to buy, because I usually focus on the water part, and I am concerned about the saturated fat for myself personally, I would like to get the one with the most water. There is no saturated fat in the coconut water. It's just the coconut meat, the white, fleshy in there. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And a lot of commercially produced coconut waters that are processed in some kind of bottle or container, they often do stay clear and you won't see them pink. And that's because they're pasteurized or they have additives that prevent the color change. So pasteurized coconut water means that it has undergone a heat treatment process to kill bacteria and extend its shelf life. And so this one is what I was saying, if you're going for the bottle, this one is the one that I decided to go for. I liked the taste of it, and I liked that it was pink and it wasn't processed through heat, which is great. So when you see pink coconut water, it often means that it's minimally processed, that it's fresh and raw and rich, full of natural antioxidants. So the pink coconut water is completely safe and often more nutrient rich than the processed versions, of course. In fact, some of the companies intentionally bottled the pink coconut water and highlight its natural color as a sign of purity and quality. Okay, let's just quickly talk about coconut milk. The coconut milk is not the liquid that you find in the fresh coconut, right? What is that? We talked about that's the coconut water. But like we said, instead, the coconut milk is a blend. It's a blend. So of the coconut flesh and water. So that meaty white, that coconut. And you mix that with water and that results in a smooth, white, like creamy texture. And that's often used in savory and sweet recipes. I know we've had it a lot in like certain Asian soups and stuff. Thai food, they use a lot of coconut milk. So coconut milk is made by blending grated coconut milk with the water, and then you do want to put it through a strain. You could use a nut bag or a strainer that's a fine mesh. It still has healthy fats, especially those medium chain triglycerides. Remember the MCTs? And I haven't made that, so I think I might want to try making homemade coconut milk using the coconut meat and my Nama M1 milk maker. What do you think, Todd? Would you try it if I tried that?
I would certainly try it. And Tanya agrees that you can make it in your Nama M1.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So yeah, I haven't tried that yet and am interested in it. So now there are two types of coconut milk. There's the full fat coconut milk, which is the rich, thick, and creamy. I personally try to stay away from all this, but I want to share. But it's, if you want to put it in things like curries, creamy soups, sauces, and desserts, that's where you usually will find it. And if it's, if you're buying it ready to go on the shelf, you'll typically find that one in a can. And that's what it's used for. And then there's the light or the low-fat coconut milk, which is like a thinner, less creamy. It's often made by diluting the full-fat coconut milk with more water. And it's okay in some lighter dishes, but it doesn't have the full body and full flavor of the other one. So that's that. And then there's the coconut cream. Now, if you take coconut milk, the blended coconut meat, right, in the water, and then let it sit undisturbed, the natural fats will separate and rise to the top. And then that thick layer is what we call coconut cream. Coconut cream is much thicker, richer, and more concentrated in fat than coconut milk. And it's essentially coconut milk with less water or sometimes no water added at all. And like I started to say, I personally have stayed away from coconut meat because I had some issues getting my triglycerides down. And my doctor told me, based on my blood work at the time, try not eating it and see what happens. Just drink the water. And I did. And I did lower my triglycerides. And I haven't had coconut meat, like coconut or coconut milk or cream. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you when that I remember. I don't even know. We don't even have any of that in the house. No. But just, today for this example, I wanted to talk about that. And still a personal decision, or maybe it's something you would do once in a while, because I try really hard to see what works and what doesn't for me. And I do drink coconut water and I love it. So I am not suggesting that you stay away from coconut meat. I'm just sharing my personal experience and what I'm doing based on my own body's needs. And you should check with your, again, with your medical professional and your blood work. That gives us so many answers to discuss any concerns. So not sure we need that. Okay, so let's stop there talking about all the benefits. And let's talk about what I have here. And let's talk about, or let's try to open some coconuts. Before we get started, anybody mention anything about the question here? Anybody excited to try this?
I think everyone's excited to watch you try it.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do this solo, but okay. So I'm going to show you these coconuts that I have here. I'm going to tell you where I got them from, how they were stored, and how much I paid for them in case you're interested. And I actually did buy a case, which is in the refrigerator. So if it's something you're interested, Todd will grab it. It's in the outside garage. I don't know if they are interested. At any rate, this is a fun and sometimes a little intimidating. This is a new thing for me. So we're going to try to open coconuts here. Okay. Now, this is what I want to tell you. When I saw this, this was at the farmer's market and they were selling it. They were selling it they open it. It's cold on ice. It's the young coconut. And so they gave the umbrella and they did the whole thing. And that was the thumbnail on today's show. And so I just want to tell you, I mean, it was, I thought, quite a ripoff, but I did it anyways. And it was fun. It was $10. Now, I have measured in the past how much coconut water is in some of the young ones. And I've always found it to be about 8 ounces. I've heard some people find 10. And the older ones, I don't know. And some people I've seen get more than that, but that was how I sometimes measure that. Okay, then, so I told them about this one. Okay, so then I went to the grocery store and I found this one in the refrigerated section. This was actually found at Whole Foods. And this is really cool. It says keep refrigerated, right? So it's kept refrigerated, and it's really cool because it's got instructions on it. It says how to open it, and I'll just read it here. Cut away husk until you see the peace sign, and then locate a soft spot and use the heel of a knife to break through it. Insert a spoon, pop off the lid, add a straw, and enjoy. And they even have this little QR code. And I went to it and it was cute, and it had little videos and it helps. So, you know, for that one, I'm going to see how much I paid for that one because I have the receipts here. I thought it would be fun to share. So, oh, do I not have that one? That one? Huh. Well, $4.99 each. Okay. And I'm trying to see if that was organic. I don't know. Okay, next one is we went to a store where they had these green ones. Okay, this store was an Indian grocery store and kitchen, and they have a lot of wonderful things there. They were sitting, not in the refrigerator. And I just want to show you. Look at this thing. I mean, this might fall, but you know, they had these just like this. This is how they are on the tree, and so we said, you know, we'll just take it how it is. Well, they said you're going to have a hard time cutting into that. So they went ahead and cut it for us a little bit. And so this is ready to go. But then we thought, well, we want to show you what it looks like ready, you know, not cut into. And we don't have any idea how we're going to cut into that because we don't have the right tools for that. But that one, these were $2.99, not organic. Okay, so just to give you an idea, and then there's just a couple more here. Oh, this guy, $5.99, right? And this is a 16 ounce. And then you want to show the case? If you get a case, whoops. There's the case, and this is what's in the case. And so we're going to talk about this one. You can put that back in the refrigerator, but it's really cool. And this came in here. It's really great. These are organic, raw coconut water and meat. And we could talk a little bit more about this. Todd is going to have to go right at the hour, and I think he wants us to get into cutting it. So we're going to do that. But the last one, I'm going to come back and talk about this one more. But I just want to say this one that's on the paper towel, and I just told them that we're going to come back to this. So because you have to go. This one is at a international store. Do you see how white this is? I think that means that it's been sprayed with I don't know what, because it should be like that. Anyways, this one was $3.29. Okay, so basically you have an idea. Oh, the case, well, if anyone's interested in the case, I could tell you that price, and we are going to talk about that. Okay, so let's start cutting into some of these. I've got some different tools, and which one should we cut into first?
Whichever one you'd like.
Okay, so we didn't talk about this one yet, so I'm going to come back to this one. But let's, do you want to do some of these?
Sure, I will come over and assist.
Okay, so we can do this white one with the tools. We could do this one, and we could do that one.
Let's do it.
Which one should we start with?
Start with whichever one you'd like.
Okay, let's go with this one. All right, so this one has the eyes, right? And what we can use for cutting into the eyes is a screwdriver. We literally just went today and bought this. So I'm not saying go to your garage and get a dirty screwdriver.
Dirty, rusty screwdriver.
Yeah, you want something clean. Another idea is one of these.
Skewer?
A skewer. This is like major, this skewer.
It is
but what you want to do, and I'm going to let Todd do this with whichever one you want. And I'm going to, let's have a bowl so that you can, you can get the water to pour in here. So explain, or do you want me to explain it? The bigger section?
Yeah, so you've got the two eyes and the mouth.
Yes.
And if you look in between them, there's a seam that runs like this.
Let me hold it closer. And there is that you could tell the eyes, because the eyes supposedly, they're more the same size, and this is the bigger one. And so hopefully,
so if you look at that, then you pick the one that is the largest triangle,
yep,
which is going to be from here down, and that's the one you focus on.
You can scrape away the top if you want.
Yeah, we can scrape it away.
And he's never done this before, so this is kind of fun.
See, but look at how easy that is. It just comes right off.
Comes right off. Okay. And we don't want, so I'm going to take this because we don't want that in our
So I just scraped
water.
away, the little, outside brown. Now it looks like an open mouth.
Okay.
And then I'll do this closer here.
Well.
You can't see it there.
Here, do it right here. Do it right here, and I'll move these. Go ahead.
All right. And then it's as simple as this.
Oh,
wow.
That made a sound.
Okay. It took nothing at all just to push that through. And now you've got a hole. Okay.
Go ahead and pour it in our bowl.
And now we'll pour it in the bowl. Well, maybe we need a second hole.
Or shake it. No, I don't think that we're not supposed to do the second hole, babe.
Okay.
Just maybe get a little
bigger.
Let me just there you go.
Do that. Make it a little bit bigger hole.
See. There we go. Shake, shake, shake.
And we'll just shake, shake, shake. This is going to take a while.
So you get the picture. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
So let's put it down.
So there's that.
Well, no, because don't you want to try to cut it?
Well, I would just put a straw in and drink it, but.
No, but I mean, can I try?
Yeah.
No, I thought we were going to try to.
Oh, you want to whack it?
Yeah, we're going to whack it. Yeah, see the meat.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just shake it.
Okay. So whack. Yeah, okay. So there's a couple different ways you can whack it open. You can use a hammer, a very large rock, or the easiest way.
Can you show the comparison of the two knives that I have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is you get a big old knife like this, and you want to use the heel, right? So that's this part right here on this edge.
Turn it the other way too.
Right. So
yeah,
you use the
ways.
heel.
Great.
So if you look at these two knives together, one has a really thick heel. The other one doesn't really have much of a heel at all. It just is the end of the
Maybe
blade.
Go sideways too.
Okay. So we're going to use this one because it's got a nice big heel on it.
Oh my gosh. And this, all right. Well, we're just going to, I think it's over.
Okay. Well.
And look, it's not
close.
pink. It looks great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So All
That's
right.
pretty close.
Pretty close. Well,
Yep.
it might splash. I'll just, you want to go for it?
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay.
All right, so using that same,
Here, stand over here, baby.
largest 3-section approach,
Yes.
you go from there halfway down to pretty much the equator, if this were the Earth. And being very careful with your own fingers.
Yeah, please.
Use the heel of the knife.
Heel of the knife. Ooh. We did have a discussion about being careful not to break the counter. Yep. Yeah, you could just don't do it over this because when it's going to get the dust in it.
Okay. I'm just going to do it a couple more times. There we go.
So this is what you do.
There you go. Yep.
Here's just move that out of
there. We're just going to pry it open now with my hands.
Pry it open. Should we do it together?
You want to grab half?
Yeah.
It's like a wishbone.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Nice. High five. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this I think is an adult one because it's really thick. Really thick. So let's put this aside.
Yep.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Okay, now I'm going to do one of these other ones and then, well, maybe I'll try to do this one. I don't think we're going to be able to open this right now. But why don't you talk about this part?
So there is, in our research, looking into this, there is some techniques where this actually attaches. You can see this. It has this kind of cap, this leathery, leafy-looking cap. You can peel that back with a butter knife, and then that's how you get into it. And then you just pull back all this other green, but it's very labor-intensive.
You could try it if you want.
And I would just find a guy with a machete.
Okay, and so the same place, we were surprised. Why didn't they do that on this side for this one? They cut this open. And so what I'm going to try to do is use some of these tools. Oh, really quickly, I do want to talk about this before we move on. This is a special tool that you can put into these coconuts, and it helps get the coconut meat off. And I don't know, Todd, if you want to work on that, but you just kind of, and this actually, we can post a link if you're interested, but my girlfriend said, oh, I have this, and, maybe you'll want to try this tool. Well, it's going to take a while, but it did come apart a little bit. You see, this is going to come off of here. And some people take this and put it in the oven. I think I would have to I think it's just like for 10 minutes or 15 minutes for just a short period of time on maybe 350 degrees. But I need to double check that and just let it heat up. And then take it out, of course, let it cool, and then it will break open easily as well. Okay, so I want to, there are two ways that I could do this. I could do this like Todd was doing it. I mean, this is like if you're angry or something. And always be careful of your fingers. But when you get this off, then there's the coconut thing in there. What do you think? No, I'm not doing it.
No, I don't think that you're supposed to do that.
Why? Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it.
I think you have to use a knife to shave that back to get to the nut underneath.
But okay, but
yeah, like that. There you go.
All right, well.
Or you can just whack it.
I was whacking it because it was cutting into the flesh, and I thought that would be good.
So just be really, really careful.
All right.
So what you're trying to do is get this outer part off to get to wherever the brown coconuts are, to get to this brown coconut part underneath.
Are we going to sing it? You put the lion in the coconut.
Go for it. You sing it.
Okay. So anyways, now you can see that we just made it so that the top is a little bit easier to see. Now, would you use the knife for this? Because I'm going to try this tool that we have.
I would try that for the other
Yeah,
ones.
I am, but I'm also going to try it for this one. It doesn't work. That's okay.
It's
That's what
not-
we're here to experience, right?
uh,
I wish you could you hold this? No, let's just give it a whirl. Tanya says I'm making her nervous. Okay.
Now,
I'm not
this
gonna.
is
I'm not
do
gonna.
well for my hands, I'm sure.
Now this is a coconut tool.
You
Wow.
gotta try this at home.
See, it is coming. I just got to do it a
It's-
little bit more,
Okay.
and then I think it'll pry open, and then we can do it. No,
It's not going to.
no. Well, are you okay if I keep trying for
Yeah,
a
go
few
ahead,
minutes?
hammer away.
All right.
Yeah, see, because you still haven't gotten past this part.
Well, how do we get into this one, honey?
You're not going to.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we don't have time, but I'm going to continue to work on this. And I think with that tool, it will eventually open. Darn it. Do you want to try while I open this one? No? Oh, okay. All right.
It
Well,
won't work. You have to get past that husk to
do
get
you
to
want
the
to try to
coconut.
cut off some of the husk? No. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for this one now. I know he has to go, but all right. So this one is the one that had the QR code that says keep refrigerated. And some of these, as you see, are covered in plastic. Some of them are not. This one we still haven't spoken about, and I'm going to show you that one is not covered in plastic. This is the young coconut. And look at that packaging to keep it. Are you heading out? Do you want to say goodbye to everyone?
I am.
I'm going to continue to work on this.
There you go. That's the one that gets this tool.
I know.
All right. Thank you. Please be careful.
Okay, so this one is ready to go. And what you want to do is you want to find the top, right? It's kind of like a pencil or like a more, pointy top. So this tool came together with this mallet, and you're just supposed to put it in here, right on there. And that's how I watched them do this one. And then you just take it and you just bang it the way I was banging the other one. So let's see, is it, I don't know which way. Okay, I think I just got to go a little bit more. All right. Oh my gosh. You guys, I think I did it. Okay, hang on. This is exciting. I did do it. Okay, how do I just get it? It usually just comes up. Oh, the water's spilling, but that's okay. This is so fun. Too bad he had to leave. But you guys are checking this out with me. Let me just see if I can just. Yes, look at that. Yes, yay. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, goodness. Well, I don't want to spill it everywhere. Oh, all right. Usually it would come off like this. I'm going to pour it in here. Ready? Now, of course, you could drink it with a straw. And this flesh, I know I already took it off, but I kind of really want to show you this flesh. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Oh. All right. Do you see? This is the spoon one, right? Look at that. It just peels right off into the spoon. See how it's soft. It's coconut. And then this tool that my friend told me to try or have or borrow, you just go into this and then you kind of scoop it around the edge, if that makes sense. And then the meat just comes right off. And there are different tools that you can use. And you don't have to have that. You can also just use a spoon. And I'll just see if I can take a piece out of here. Oh my gosh. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, look at that. See, here we go. Now this is a little piece. When I had this this one, I was able to scoop it all up. I think that this needs to come off a little better so that we can actually reach in there. But I mean, it's nice, and lots of it in there. See? Coconut. Okay, so that's that one. Now, I just want to rinse my fingers. I just wanted to talk about this last one because we didn't get a chance to. And then I'm going to open this one with you. And okay, so this one did not come in plastic. It is organic. It came in a case, or you can buy them this way. It's so cute. It says from tropics to table, an excellent source of potassium, fiber, and magnesium, and a good source of zinc. It says contains 11 grams of total fat and 9 grams of saturated fat per serving. See nutritional information. And then on the side here, it says knock, knock. Have a question, comment, or a joke. They encourage you to go to their website at cocobearorganic.com. And then it says, no sharp object is needed for this one. Our coconuts are easy to open and even easier to sip and snack right out from the shell. And then it says how to do it. And so let's open this. So the box is like this. Okay, with the little handles. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Pro tip, drink completely before opening and then crack open for tempting taste of the tropics, aka sweet, tender coconut meat. So look at this, you guys, easy to open. It's got like these little straws. Look, look, look. I wonder if this is what you use. Oh my gosh, look at these little coconuts. And it says Cocoa Bear. Oh, okay, these are really cute. So these come too, and they're made really easy. Can you hear that? Sounds like there's a lot of juice. We didn't really shake a lot of these, which I thought of. So, here's another like easier way to do this. And let me see if I can do it. So you remember we had the two eyes and the mouth, so to speak. Well, this one has an X, like X marks the spot. And so anyways, I'm going to try to just see if I can do this. I don't know. And I didn't read the instructions, but I think it's just push it in there. Let's just say it says the X marks the area around the mouth. Press and wiggle the sharp end of the straw into the mouth. Hit around the groove of the coconut to crack open the meat. Okay, so I was onto something, and then it does have a groove. Can you see the groove? Let me see. Kind of goes all the way around. Bear. Oh my gosh, so cute. All right, let's see if I can do this. I mean, I know I can, but in a reasonable time while you guys are waiting here. I wonder if, even though we're supposed to use the straw, I wonder if I should just... What should we do, guys? All right, well, let's try a little bit more. Oh, maybe this will work. Maybe if I could just do this. Oh yeah, that worked. Look at that. Ah, isn't it cute? All right, should I taste it? Ooh. Oh, wow, is that good? Like, that is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I could sit here and drink it, but I think what I'm going to try to do is see if I can spill it out so we can crack this guy open. Wow. There's nothing like fresh coconut water, if you ask me. And if you're like me and you can't be in a tropical place, well, this is the next best thing. Let me see. Oh, am I spilling it all over? Da, 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 da. I like having them in separate containers because I wanted to try them all. But this one seems to be, well, it just had the straw ready to go, right? So what do you guys think? Does anybody, I mean, if you were going to try one of these or any of these of interest to you, I'd love to have you tell me. Oh, Jill says use a screwdriver. Yes. Well, that was a great idea, but we ended up figuring it out, didn't we? Okay, so I think it's just a little bit in here because this is a little. Whoa, this is a little guy. Okay, then it says to, what did it say? Let me see. Then it says, it says hit around the groove, and it's showing somebody using a rolling pin. I did not get a rolling pin out. But what I think I'll do is use this mallet thing because this thing seems to be very handy. All right, here we go. Ready? Whoa, this is, and it's wiggly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but let me try this. No. Well, let me see if I have, do I have access to a rolling pin right here? Oh, I used to, but I started rearranging things, so now I don't know where it is. Let's just try a couple more hits, and then we'll just move on. Now you know. Oh, my goodness. Well, what can I say, you guys? I don't know how to get into this one right now. I wish Todd was here because it seemed like it would have been really great and simple. I don't know. But anyways, I really enjoyed the water for sure. What can I do here? Oh, maybe this thing. Be careful of your fingers. Don't do this at home. I don't know. I don't see how that's easy and simple, but that's what they said. Let's try this side. I don't know. All right. Put the coconut on the towel. Mona, you're brilliant. So then it won't move. I think that's why I had the towel. But then do you think I should use this mallet thing? I could have a hammer. I don't know. Okay, let's try it. Whoa. I mean, for goodness sake, it's not really opening. All right. Well, I guess if I can get it open later with Todd, I'll try to post a picture or something. But at least you guys have an idea about the different ways, the different kinds, and how easy or not easy it is to get into a coconut. Now I will taste this meat that I got out of this one. And I mean, I've never been a coconut fan, but I certainly am enjoying that. That is delicious. I can't wait to try this one. Also, should we, maybe I'll just taste these other ones. And then if you guys are okay, you want to hang out with me a little bit longer, I have a smoothie recipe that I will share with you. So let's try this. Oh, okay. This tastes different, much different than this one. It tastes not sour. It definitely has a coconut flavor to it. This one was not cold, and so of course it's warm. I really liked the cold one. That's okay. I mean, that's good. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Oh, that's good. That's good. Which one was this one? This is cold. Oh, I know. Okay, that is this one that was wrapped. And that other one was the one that Todd broke open with. It is the older coconut. And the reason that I know this is because the meat is much thicker. So, this one, right? Look at how much thinner the meat is compared to this one. I mean, this is pretty crazy. And then I really wanted to get into this for you guys together, but I just don't know how. So you can't see this meat right now. Darn it. Should have maybe tried to hammer. Let's try one more time and then I'll let it go. No, it's just not going to open. All right. Well, at any rate, it's super cute. And all right. So I'm going to move some stuff out of the way and we are going to make a coconut smoothie right now. In case you guys are inspired and you want coconut. Now, some of these, I would like to use this coconut water for the smoothie. The thing is that there is some stuff on it. So maybe I'll just quickly put it through a little mesh strainer and call it a day. So I've got my Vitamix here. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I should measure this to see how much is in here, shall we? Because then we'll really know. Where's my measuring cup? Okay. Let's see, shall we? That'll be good. Okay, and I'll strain it as it goes through. Here we go. Perfect. It caught the little bits that I didn't want. And this has 1 cup, 8 ounces. That's what I'm finding, that they all have about 1 cup. Now, I don't know about these, although we have it there, but I tasted it. Oh, no, we didn't. I drank it already. But anyhow, let's put this in there. So we are going to add 1 cup or 1 coconut's worth of coconut water. And then we are going to take a few other items here. And this is, let me just use my little thing here. This is called my colada and kale smoothie. And so we are going to add just a bunch of clean kale. Actually, I use half a bunch of the curly kale. And so this is half a bunch. So I'm going to just put that in there. Put the whole thing in. I always like to use it. And then we have 1 to 2 cups. You could use fresh, but this is frozen pineapple. Go ahead and put that, depending on how much you like. You can add more. I do like to use a frozen banana, which I can grab, but just because I knew it was going to be sitting out here, I decided I can go ahead and use a fresh banana, because you can always add ice, but I like to just use the frozen fruit, and then we don't have to worry about that. And so I just am going to put this right in here. Whoops, get that little guy off. And flaxseed. So I have a 1/4 cup of flaxseed. I did not grind this up because the Vitamix is strong enough, so it will grind it up. If you don't have a strong enough blender, then go ahead and put it in a coffee grinder and just make sure that it is not in its whole form. And then you can add a little water if you need, if that wasn't enough coconut water. And so I think I will add a little bit more just to do it. Oh, and I have one last thing to show you. So you guys, I just put in like, I don't know, 1/4 or half a cup. And then we can see, we can always add, you can always add more coconut water if you want. So let me get my ears on. You guys want to do a little dance party with me? I certainly would love that. Let me go back here. And then before we get that on, I did take some of the flesh that I got from this guy, and I put it on the tray here, and I dehydrated it. And so you can do all kinds of things with it. Oh, you're back?
I am.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm back.
Okay. I have something I need your help with.
Okay, fantastic.
I was just about to blend up and do the dance party.
Okay.
Do you want to try this?
Sure. I'll try this little one.
Just take a bite.
Okay.
Dehydrated.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Oh, it's really good. It's really actually very good.
So we got this guy open.
You don't take cute with the little faces.
So cute.
Okay.
We're supposed to
whack it.
And I whacked and whacked and whacked, and I can't get it open.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it a whirl?
Sure. Let's whack it.
Mona said use a towel.
Okay.
Which was really brilliant. Oops.
Good idea.
And if all else fails, whoops, we have another one, but this is amazing. And so is the one that you cut. Oh, geez. All right, let me move this out of the way. I'm going to get my ears on. We're going to blend up and finish strong.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't want to open, does it?
It is not opening. And on the picture that says easy open, it says use a rolling pin.
Rolling pin?
So anyways.
What if I just drive over it?
I don't know. Okay, are you ready to hang out with me and do a dance party? Even if we can make our own music?
Let's do a dance party. I'm almost determined now to get into this thing.
To avoid dancing?
No, to get into this.
Oh.
That seems dangerous.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
All
Remy?
right.
Ready?
Remy's not in.
Ready? Ready? Ready, everyone? Here we go. You put the line. babe. Thanks for being a sport. And so here you go, you guys. You have a beautiful smoothie. I hope that you'll try it. Would you come and taste it, Todd?
Sure. As long as I don't have to whack any more coconuts.
Okay. Here you go. Now it's all the fruit was not frozen.
Okay.
So you might want ice or use frozen all the way. But what do you think about the flavor?
Oh my nose.
Okay.
Wow, it's really good.
Good.
Yeah, it's nice and sweet, but you also get the kale going on too.
The kale, yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, there you go, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with us. Okay, I'm going to taste it too. Oh,
Really
that
good.
is really delicious.
It is.
I am happy with that one. And if you hung in here till the end with me, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know this was kind of a little crazy, just trying to do some new experiments together, but I had a good time. And if we figure this one out, Todd, then I really want to take a picture of what's in here. I really wanted to share that. And you know what?
We're going to get into it somehow.
I did a little bit, but I didn't really use this tool too much on this one. But I did talk about putting it in the oven, and I wanted to put that in the show notes, the temperature and the amount of time. But anyways, everyone, don't forget to eat your greens while you're checking into coconuts, if it's your thing. And like I always say, please, you guys, give plants a chance. They won't steer you wrong. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.